Welcome to SVG-TV News for Monday, December 12th, 2016. I'm Laffer Fraser with the details. There might be some hope for employees of the Ament Bay Resort, as it is being reported that the government is actively pursuing new management for the five-star resort. Coming out of a follow-up meeting held on Friday, December 9th, it was reported that CEO of the resort, Dave Ames, was represented by his lawyer in a meeting held with Labor Minister Camilo Gonçalves. Trade unionist Birds Bonady, who was also present in that meeting, told SVG-TV News via a telephone interview that Mr. Ames, through his lawyer, denied everything that was discussed in an initial meeting held with them on Monday, December 5th. Bonady said Ames initially committed to taking full responsibility of his financial duties to pay his employees and bring his wage bill up to date. But on Friday, a different tune was sung. The trade unionist said Minister Gonçalves expressed his disappointment with the direction of Friday's meeting and did not hesitate to remind the lawyer that his client's action is illegal and the government is being placed in a position to proceed with legal action against the businessman.
I believe that what is going to happen is that the government is going to take legal action, and all I can say is this week. We will hear exactly what the government intends to do. What the minister said, he could not promise the people that they will be paid their monies before Christmas, but that they should read between the lines in what he's telling them, and they are actively pursuing. And there is no intention whatsoever to close the hotel. Me, myself, reading between the lines, the object of the exercise is to have all the workers back to work before Christmas, and the government intends to make sure that the hotel remains open. The government is now in touch with other operators to manage the hotel.
Bonady further added that Friday's meeting was far from being cordial conversation due to Ames' action.
Friday was an exchange of letters between the minister and Ames' lawyer. Friday was a different thing. It was not a conversation. The minister didn't speak to Ames. His lawyer, Ames' lawyer, is the one that entered the fray. It was his lawyer who transmitted information to the minister, and the minister and him, back and forth. The Ames said, based on the discussion on Monday, that he was going to email the minister the arrangement to pay the workers. That's what he said. He said he had already transferred some money to Simmons. But then we later discovered the money he transferred is $18,000 US. That's nothing. That's a drop in the bucket. The lawyer also said that Mr. Ames denied what he said on the phone when all of us heard him. He denied he said so.
Though tight-lipped about the details, Bonady stated that come Thursday, December 15th in Parliament, a piece of legislation is expected to be tabled which will curb issues of what has been taking place at the resort. Meantime, the trade unionist expressed high hopes for the future of the resort and its employees.
What I do know, and what I glean from whatever little information which I can't divulge, is that the new people who will be managing the hotel, they're not coming without any money. You understand?
Right.
They're not coming empty-handed. Whoever they are, they're not coming empty-handed. And they must know, in order to get the hotel back up to speed, you have to satisfy at least one aspect of the operations of the hotel, that is getting staff back in.
Noting that the election petition case, which was to be heard this month, will not be heard until mid-February 2017, opposition leader Dr. Godwin Friday said that they will pursue the case to the very end. Dr. Friday, who was speaking on radio on Friday, admitted that he felt let down by the delay.
We are disappointed that our challenges, that is the court challenges, have not moved forward faster in the court system. But we are continuing to push on, and we'll do so to the end of the process. Our lawyers have all taken the steps necessary to move this matter forward as quickly as possible and to protect all documents that would be needed in the process of having this matter properly litigated in the court. As it now stands, the appeal, we had hoped that it would be heard in December, but it is not likely to be heard until we are told by our lawyers sometime in mid-February, because that is the first time that the lawyers for the respondents say that they are available to attend in the court.
Dr. Friday commended the protesters on the front line, whom he said have been often mistreated, for their stance to continue their protest action against the December 2015 election results.
It is also demonstrated in a very strong way, by the protesters on the front line, who have stood together in the face of threats to keep vigil for our democracy. We owe them a debt of gratitude for all of their efforts and for the persistence and dedication that they have shown. Even in the times when they receive threats, people heap scorn upon them, they stay there because they know the importance of democracy to our country and the role that they're playing in protecting that. Those people in the front line, Bert, they have earned our respect, and they inspire all of us to a new era of vigilance and struggle.
2 of 3 contracts have been signed here earlier today as part of the Coastal Protection for Climate Change Adaptation in Small Island States in the Caribbean project, or 5CS, which was also officially launched here today. According to Technical and Scientific Coordinator in the 5CS program, Otis Jocelyn, the project seeks to pursue the implementation of local adaptation measures for the sustainable improvement of coastal ecosystems relevant for climate change adaptation in 4 CARICOM countries: St. Lucia, Grenada, Jamaica, and SVG. 3 projects are scheduled for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 2 have already been launched in Grenada and St. Lucia, respectively, while 4 projects are scheduled for Jamaica in 2017.
And the overall project for this Coastal Protection Climate Change Adaptation project is that we are hoping that climate change-induced risk for the coastal population of small island developing states in the Caribbean are reduced. And the objective of the project itself is that we want to use ecosystem services to reduce the impact of climate change on these coastal areas. And we want to ensure that in other areas we improve on what is already being done.
Jocelyn said the first project to be undertaken here in the Sandy Bay area seeks to build resilience along the coastline and preserve the indigenous livelihood of residents.
First project submitted by the Ministry of Transport, Works, Urban Development and Local Government focuses on building resilience of the Sandy Bay community to the impacts of climate change through shoreline protection. To achieve climate change resilience along the coastline, the proposed project intends to implement a climate resilient shoreline protection system that, 1, reduces the vulnerability of the people and infrastructure of Sandy Bay to wave impacts and storm surges due to climate change, and 2, combats climate change-induced coastal erosion at Sandy Bay and stimulates socioeconomic activities to sustain and improve livelihoods. The outputs basically are the following: erection of a coastal defense at Trenchtown, Sandy Bay, to protect the lives and infrastructure and prevent inundation and coastal erosion due to, as I said before, storm surges and wave impacts.
The project's technical coordinator further disclosed the details of the other 2 projects, which will be implemented here once the contracts have been finalized between the grantees and the trustees.
The second project was submitted by the National Parks, Beaches and Rivers Authority. Focuses on the South Coast Marine Conservation Area to improve the ecosystem health and build resilience to climate change. This will be achieved through local adaptation measures, which include restoring the environmental integrity of the ecosystem and increase fish biomass, and preventing and reducing to acceptable levels land and marine-based stressors, along with improving the ambient marine water quality. The third project was submitted by the Sustainable Grenadines Inc. NGO, and this focuses on restoring the Ashton Lagoon ecosystem to promote nature-based adaptation to climate change while creating sustainable livelihood opportunities for the people of Union Island.
The climate change adaptation initiatives are expected to benefit targeted communities as well as St. Vincent and the Grenadines on a whole. Local agronomist Lennox Lampkin says a link must be made between the environment and people's livelihoods to promote sustainability. Speaking on the concept of an environmental democracy on Sunday's edition of Easy Radio's Sunday Tea program, Lampkin noted that if all Vincentians are to benefit from such a democracy, they must be able to make fundamental choices based on knowledge and information.
I think if you really want to get people's attention, we have got to establish the links between livelihood and the environment, and to get people to understand that they are the environment. Your life is really based on, you're infected by the environment in which you live. And once you take care of we are, as Dr. Murray said, we are stewards of the environment. We are supposed to, we have borrowed this planet from our children. So we have to leave something that is livable for our children and our grandchildren. And when we start to live, we have to put the links. Now I would like to establish the link between the environment and agriculture and environment and health as we move along. And I think that those are the things that will speak to people at the domestic, at the individual level.
Lampkin added that the use of toxins is of grave importance to Vincentians, not only in relation to pollution, but also in relation to sustainable trade with other nations.
The use of toxins, the important use of toxins, and you want to export products to countries that take these issues seriously, you're going to be shooting yourself in the foot. At the end of the day, you have no export market because you would have residues in your produce. You would find that you can't export something to the European Union because you have 62 toxins on their list that are banned or restricted, and quite a number of the toxins that these people export to us are banned or restricted in their own country, and that in itself, to me, is international crime. And those are the things that we need to be looking at. They make these products, they sell them to us, and when it comes down to banning these products, because we have poor governance mechanisms in place, we end up being dump yards for toxins that they don't want.
And environmentalist Dr. Ronald Murray said there needs to be more public discussion on issues of concern to the environment.
Government has in fact done a number of things to fulfill some of the obligations under the conventions, but there are a number of elements that still need attention. I remember sitting in one meeting where a then Prime Minister said that, government alone cannot do the environment, and he was so right. Government can never do the environment as a cabinet. It has to be the nation, it has to be the people. Hence Samantha's point about the need to know. If the people don't know, they can't make decisions. So what needs to happen is that there needs to be more public dialogue on issues of environment, but it's not sexy and nobody wants to listen.
Exactly.
We're coming around. It's happening slowly. I think this week, in the last week, I attended at least 3 of those where I spoke to people, and there's some reviving of that, but the pace is extremely slow, but the rate of degradation of the environment is extremely fast. So the coming around is not catching up with what is happening.
A regional 3-day workshop will commence here tomorrow on the trade-led economic growth and development in the Caribbean, the role of the multilateral trading system, or MTS. The aim of the workshop, hosted by the World Trade Organization, the WTO, in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Commerce, is to increase participants' awareness of various factors that can enhance development gains from trade. The workshop will focus on how aid for trade can contribute to building building trade capacity in the region and other development matters. These include the role of trade in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, using trade facilitation to reduce trade costs and link into global and regional value chains, and participation of small and medium-sized enterprises in international trade and e-commerce. The workshop will take place at the Beachcombers Hotel, drawing participants from across the CARICOM countries. The business of the Caribbean Union of Teachers, or the CUT, is the promotion and development of the region's education system. That's according to President of the CUT, Julian Monrose, as he spoke earlier today at the opening ceremony of the CUT's executive meeting at the Sunset Shores Hotel. Monrose noted that there are several issues which the union must address, including creating a safe, clean and healthy environment for students and teachers alike, and challenged the participants to use the meeting to chart a way forward for the union.
We are not here representing ourselves. We are here in the name of the thousands of teachers who labor in the education system day in and day out. We are here in the name of social justice. And if we consider those things important, then we will, these 2 days will be the focus will be on this. How do we make the CUT strong? How do we make the CUT stronger? How do we build the CUT so that we can advance quality public education, so that we can advance the interests of teachers and defend their rights, and how we can defend social justice within our region and also make a contribution to that movement on a global scale.
Also speaking at the opening was Senior Education Officer Dixon Findlay, who commended the union for having its meeting in SVG and also challenged representatives of the member states to do their part to build a better Caribbean.
Sometimes it is difficult to get to St. Vincent because of the challenges. We hope that will soon be over with the opening of the international airport. So you will get here faster and easier. But we are here, and as you deliberate, the focus should always be on what kind of a Caribbean we want to see. Because as educators, we are charged with the responsibility of making the Caribbean better, and education is the best investment. When we invest in our human resources, we can move mountains. And Ministries of Education and the Teachers Union in the region, we have to work together to make the Caribbean better.
Also at the opening ceremony was President of the SVG Teachers Union, Oswald Robinson, who welcomed the delegates to the meeting.
Are very special to us, and we want to ensure that you experience that true Vincentian hospitality, and we will do everything in our powers within the framework of the law to ensure that you have a grand time here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We know that you have made a sacrifice from your home, your families, your friends, your schools. But the business of the CUT is for all of us to deliberate. And we do appreciate you making that sacrifice.
The St. James School of Medicine here in St. Vincent held a white coat graduation ceremony last Friday for the MD4 students who completed 16 months of the Basic Sciences program. The school, which was established here in SVG in 2014 with only 14 students, is now a full-fledged medical school with 200 students on the island. Guest speaker at the ceremony, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, expressed his satisfaction at the growth of the school and encouraged the students to explore the beauty of the island and to value the cultural experience they will gain while pursuing their studies.
I understand most of you are from Canada and the United States, though you have clearly multinational, multi-ethnic backgrounds. And when you come to somewhere new, I guess you have to make some adjustments. But the world is becoming so globalized that culture is increasingly homogeneous. For instance, Colonel Sanders is just outside of your lecture halls. And all the foods you'd find in the supermarkets in Toronto and Chicago, they're at the supermarkets in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I hope you got a chance to go and look at the Grenadine Islands. They're very beautiful, and that you get to go out to the countryside. And if not, you should come again.
Vice President of the St. James School of Medicine, Raj Mitra, congratulated the graduates and reminded them that their educational journey in the medical field has just started.
This is a very special milestone for not only for the students, but also for everyone else out here as well too. The faculty, the staff, the parents, and also obviously the students for you guys. You're that much closer to your lifelong dream of becoming a physician. So we're proud of you guys, extremely proud of you guys. But the one thing I think we should definitely take a minute to kind of celebrate is all the hard work that the people next to you today put in so you guys could be here today, and you are who you are. So I'd like to have a big round of applause for all the parents, the loved ones, and the supporters that put all you guys over here.
The lone graduate of Vincentian parentage, Natasha Child, expressed her excitement in accomplishing such a milestone and spoke of her plans moving forward.
For one, I feel honored. My parents are from here, so accomplishing this here has been a wonderful experience for me. I'm very lucky. A lot of people are jealous of the fact that I'm from this beautiful island, so I get to go home in the afternoons and I get to study. And it's made me successful, I think, in this part of the program. What I intend to do going forward from here is I'm going to do my clinical rotations in Chicago. And then after that, I would have an MD. And then I want to specialize in psychiatry or pediatrics. And then eventually come back to St. Vincent and give back.
The MD4 graduates will now move on to do the clinical sciences program in Chicago. And on to 9 Mornings. The SVG 9 Mornings Committee on Sunday evening launched the 2016 festival held under the theme Celebrating a Unique Vincentian Tradition 2016, the Best Ever. Patrons got a chance to witness the ceremonial lighting up of Heritage Square and a glimpse of what to expect from various participating 9 Mornings communities. We hear more in this report from Nikita Tony.
As one of SVG's premier festivals, persons were out in their numbers last evening, Sunday, December 11, 2016, to be a part of the official launch of the 2016 9 Mornings Festival at Heritage Square. The launch, which began with a street parade through the streets of capital Kingston, culminated with the lighting of the square. Commending the work of the SVG 9 Mornings Committee for its dedication towards developing the festival, Minister of Culture Cecil Sesmaki thanked the Vincentian public as well as those in the diaspora and visitors alike for their support in building the festival over the years.
In fact, immediately after the 9 Mornings activities are concluded, early in the new year, we ask all of the partners to come together. And we do an analysis of what would have taken place for this year. We have signaled to the world that 9 Mornings is here. And if you look at your program, you will see concerts from here on in all of the communities throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are going to have an even bigger 9 nights of activities to run alongside 9 Mornings. Botanic Gardens will be the place, and it will be lit even better than it was last year.
Reflecting on the recent devastation caused by natural disasters here, Minister Mackey expressed his hopes of having a display of love and support during the festive season. He further urged persons to come out and support the unique Vincentian tradition.
We have come together and we are offering love and support in one way or the other to those persons who were affected. Let us continue to reflect this love, passion, and caring attitude for all Vincentians, not only at Christmas time, not only when we have disasters, but all year long. We are going to ask persons from the various communities to come out and support these concerts in the communities. But as important, we are going to ask persons who are Vincentians not living here, Vincentians in the diaspora, and non-Vincentians to come to St. Vincent and the Grenadines to be part of this very special festival.
The opening ceremony was followed by a concert featuring performances from 9 morning community groups across SVG. Here's a look at what those groups had to offer.
Oh, you must come to Oria for Christmas. Our start party. Everybody bring your hand, bring your book, let we share it up. Cause we want this to be one of their best Christmas. Hip hip hooray, Stubbs is the best 9 morning community.
Sweet, sweet dish. As I would say, Rose Bank have this nice, nice feeling when it comes to 9 morning.
I'm home. I'm in a barrel. I'm home. I'm in a barrel. I'm in a barrel. 9 mornings, we love it. Why am I jumping up? 9 mornings, we love it.
On the mountain Jews, way above the sea. Oi, oi, oi. At Christmas time, oi, oi. Come and visit we. We doing it again.
Morning at
we doing it again.
This Christmas.
We doing it again.
All participating villages will begin their 9 morning celebrations from this Friday, December 16th, and will run up to Saturday, December 24th, when the results of the 2016 competition will be announced. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.